What is going on, everybody? What's going on, No DQ Galaxy? Cindy G here. I'm here with Interstate Kyle, and also for the second time doing the prediction video, Big Geoff right here. And of course, the title of this video, we'll be doing our prediction video for the greatest Royal Rumble, which will be taking place this Friday in Saudi Arabia. So before I get everything started, I know I'm going to ask a lot of you guys talking about, my thoughts about not having women's working in WWE in Saudi Arabia. Well, you guys, let's not talk about politics. I just don't care about it at all. Let's just talk about wrestling in general. But anywho, so far, this is going to be another longest pay-per-view ever, 7 hours. Really now? We just got off from WrestleMania, and now we're getting more and more matches. I don't know, you guys. And plus, the show's going to be starting at 12 o'clock Eastern time. Yep. And of course, the kickoff pre-show is going to start at 11 a.m. Eastern time, which of course is going to be 8 a.m. Western time. So
9 a.m. 9 a.m.
9 a.m. the show.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. All right. So anyway, we got a couple matches right here, and I'm going to talk about how do I feel about each of the build-ups. So the build-up is pretty interesting, even though you have some random matches going on with little to no storyline, especially the fact that we just got off from, the Superstar Shakeup last week, guys. So, scale of 1 to 10, how excited I am? I would say a 6. I mean, I'm going to be missing, an hour and a half because of school. So, yeah. So anyway, let's start off with you, Kyle. What do you think of the pay-per-view build-up so far? Are you excited and all that?
I mean, we're just coming off of WrestleMania, and I still feel like I'm recovering from that whole weekend to this day. I mean, and then we have Backlash in 2 weeks, so it's just so much wrestling and the Superstar Shakeup. This has just been a busy, busy month. I mean, I wish I could say I'm really excited for it, but it's at the end of the day, I don't really think the end result of this Royal Rumble is going to mean much, or the championship. A lot of these championship matches are just it's a glorified house show is what a lot of people are calling it, and I agree with that. If I had to give my level of excitement on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll probably say 6. I'll agree with you on that. I mean, I'm just not. I mean, sure, it's wrestling. I love it. I love wrestling. I mean, I'll take all the wrestling I can get, but at the same time, I am pretty tired of all of the wrestling that we've had to deal with in the last month. So, what do you think, Big G?
Yeah.
Well, on the prediction video yesterday with the other guys, I said a 7. I'm gonna stick with that. I'm gonna give it a shot. Like we all said, it's a glorified house show. Mm-hmm. Another 7 freaking hours of wrestling. Hopefully they span it out. I mean, yeah, they have the 50-man Royal Rumble, so that'll probably be at least a 2-hour match or 2.5-hour match tops. Because you got to give space for in between to come out. If you have it every 30 seconds or so, it's going to be too clustered in the ring. So we'll see. And it's supposed to fit 70,000 people or something like that. I heard. Or
I guess so.
So those are my thoughts on it. Cindy, let's start it off. What's the first match?
All right. So the first match that it's probably going to be the opener of the match, and it's the obvious one, which is going to be the Cruiserweight title match between the champ Cedric Alexander versus a to-be-determined competitor. So now I know we have tomorrow 205 Live. By the time of the recording of this video, they're going to choose who's going to be the one that's going to compete with Cedric. My theory is that I have a feeling it's going to be either Mustafa Ali or Buddy Murphy because of last week's, actually 2 weeks ago after Mania, Cedric did have a celebration of his first title win, and then you have is Mustafa Ali coming out, congratulating him and all that, and up until Buddy Murphy's theme music played, and then that's when Buddy starts sneak attack Cedric from behind. So I don't know what's going on with the whole contendership going on, but my gut feeling is it's going to be Mustafa Ali. So it's going to be another kickoff pre-show rematch from Mania, but in a main card particular. And I'm going to go ahead with my pick already. It's going to be Cedric Alexander to retain the title. So let's start off with you, Big Geoff. can you recap from the last prediction video till?
Yeah. So what I said yesterday is pretty much what you said. I said it's either going to be Mustafa Ali or Arya Daivari since they're like in the Middle East. I'm sticking with my pick, Cedric to Alexander to win, and then we'll probably see him and Buddy Murphy fight at Backlash. All right, Kyle, what you got?
I hate to agree, and I don't want to disagree just because I feel like we're going to get extra points here. But hey, if we're tallying points here, we're either all going to win or lose with this one. So I'm just going to say that Cedric Alexander retains. I mean, he just won the title. I don't really think it's going to do the Cruiserweights any good if the title keeps flopping back and forth like some of the other titles have been lately. So I'm just going to say that Cedric Alexander retains, and I'm predicting that it's going to be Mustafa Ali to be the one going against him at the Greatest Royal Rumble.
Okay.
I agree. So we're all going to be choosing Cedric to retain a title. So we're just going to be finding out what's going to happen on 205 Live, see who's going to be competing for Cedric. And, of course, we may going to be agree it's probably going to be Mustafa or what Big Geoff said, Arya Daivari. Oh, for me, Buddy Murphy. But we'll see what's going on. But, anywho, let's move on to the next match here, which is going to be the vacant Raw Tag Team titles, which you have is the two competitors are the Woken Warriors, consist of Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy versus the Bar. So, interesting match going on, especially the fact that the Bar is now drafted to SmackDown Live from last week. But I'm going to have to go ahead with my pick already because this is no-brainer. I'm going to say the Woken Warriors are going to be the one that's going to be the new Raw Tag Team Champion because, of course, they're going to be on Raw, and plus the Bar, they're going to be doing a lot of better things to do on SmackDown Live. So let's start off with you, Kyle.
I'm really happy that the Bar went to SmackDown Live. I'll just say that right now. I don't think I predicted that in our Superstar Shakeup predictions, but like you said, it's really obvious because the Bar's on SmackDown, and I don't think the Raw Tag Team Championships are going to be defended on SmackDown. So I think the Woken Warriors, although I'm pretty sure I heard them called the Deletion of Worlds. I heard that name thrown around too. I guess Woken Warriors is what they're called. I wasn't really paying much attention, but I'm guessing Bray Wyatt and Woken Matt Hardy will win the match and the Tag Team Championships. What do you think, Geoff?
Yeah, we're all in agreement again. You know, Woken Warriors, Wyatt and Hardy are gonna win. They'll have some good feuds with maybe Authors of Pain or even Owens and Zayn now, or even.
I forgot.
Yeah.
So I mean, other than that, the Bar wants to SmackDown Live. They'll have good feuds now, Usos and the New Day and whoever else is down there. All right. What's the next match we got, Cindy?
Alrighty, so next up, it's going to be, the match that I'm not looking forward to it, but mixed feelings about it, which is going to be the United States title match, which you have is the champ, Jeff Hardy, versus Jinder Mahal, or should I say Jinder Mahal. So let's start off with you, Geoff.
All right, so we have the newly crowned champ, Jeff Hardy, who just recently moved to SmackDown, against the former champ, Jinder Mahal. I'm sticking with my pick, my boy Jeff Hardy. He's going to retain it. He's going to have a good feud with Randy Orton down the line, eventually at Backlash.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to have Jinder Mahal probably be Roman Reigns or Braun Strowman's little pet boy on the side. All right, Cindy, what's your prediction?
Well, it's pretty interesting since now that Jeff is now on SmackDown Live with the U.S. title and Mahal is on Raw. So, of course, my obvious pick is going to be Jeff to retain a title. And speaking of which, you guys saw last week on Raw that there's maybe going to be a build-up of feud between Jinder and No Way Jose after Jinder lost the U.S. title. So this is going to be like a possible next feud. It's just Jinder and No Way Jose, and then also like leading on to like pretty much a feud with up and coming NXT stars. So who knows? And what about you, Kyle?
Anybody but Jinder. Moving on.
All right. So we all agree Jeff Hardy retained the title. So anyway, next up, this is going to be a very interesting singles match, and this is between John Cena versus Triple H. So it looks like we have is one of the random matches that has been thrown out there for the Greatest Royal Rumble, and interesting. So Kyle, let's start off with you. What are your thoughts?
Well, this is like a legend versus legend match, which I really am intrigued by. And I don't know. For some reason, I feel like this is a hard prediction for me because neither of them have been winning their matches lately, really, if you think about it. I mean, when's the last time Triple H has won a big match? It was probably Sting at WrestleMania, which I went to. But then again, Cena hasn't won since he won on pay-per-view, at least, since he faced Rusev back in July, I think, was that flag match. But I feel like Cena's gonna win just because if this is like a glorified house show, and like usually in house shows, the baby faces win all the time, like just to make the crowd go home happy, like on house shows. And I just think Cena's gonna win because I feel like he needs to win more than Triple H does. I mean, I think Triple H is at the point in his career where he doesn't need to beat John Cena. I mean, they haven't faced each other, granted, on pay-per-view since Survivor Series 2009, that triple threat match with Shawn Michaels. So, in a sense, it's almost a little bit fresh, but, you know, I guess it's more to draw in the older fans, you know, I guess, kind of bring the nostalgia back. So that's why I think this match is on the card, because, you know, to bring in more of the nostalgia act. So, but I still think Cena's going to win. What do you think, Big Jeff?
I agree with you. I said yesterday Cena needs this win more than Triple H does. I believe Triple H is there now just to put people over, like he did at WrestleMania, the past couple WrestleManias, actually.
Except
yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, Cena's gonna win. What about you, Cindy?
Well, I think I'm gonna throw a curveball out here because knowing the fact that John Cena is having a continuous losing streak of pay-per-view matches, especially Triple H also. So this is a pretty tough choice to make, but honestly, I'm gonna have to go with Triple H beating Cena because I have a feeling with the logic of WWE booking, they're gonna continue to put Cena in a losing streak of pay-per-views and probably bigger and better things if he's gonna be coming back to WWE, probably for SummerSlam or Survivor Series, since he's doing more television appearance and movies and so on and so forth. So I'm gonna have to stick by it's gonna be Triple H to win. So yeah. So anyway, let's moving on here. So next up you have is the SmackDown Tag Team Title match, which you have the champ, the Bludgeon Brothers versus the Uso. So Big Geoff, what are your thoughts?
Alright, like I said yesterday on the prediction video, the Usos are my boys. But I'm gonna go with the Bludgeon Brothers to retain. They just won the titles at WrestleMania, and if you have them lose right away to the Usos, there goes their credibility. And I also said yesterday, when Sanity comes up, they could face the Bludgeon Brothers down titles, or even the Bar versus the Bludgeon Brothers, or whoever you have on there will face the Bludgeon Brothers. All right, Kyle, what do you think?
I don't know why, but I feel like I have a hard time picking a winner for this because the Bludgeon Brothers have been so dominant over the Usos. The Usos in the last month, ever since Fastlane, really, they have not had any good offense. It's really weird booking. It's almost like they're setting up for them to win or something. But I don't know, because I'm trying to think of possible matchups. I mean, you got the Bludgeon Brothers who are heels, and then you got the Bar who are heels, but I kind of feel like the Bar is going to be kind of going for the tag team titles, and I don't know if they're going to be going with the heel versus heel dynamic. So I don't really know. I mean, for some reason, I just have a feeling that the Usos are going to win, and that's what I'm going to predict. I'm going to predict the Usos are going to win back the titles for some reason. What do you think, Cindy?
Well, honestly to say is, because of the Superstar shakeup, we're getting a really good tag teams coming to the tag team division for SmackDown Live. I'm really excited for what's gonna hold. You have Sanity debuting from NXT. You have the Bar coming from Raw. I mean, there is a lot. The
Club.
Yep, the Club also probably reuniting with AJ Styles. So there's a lot of endless possibility going on with like who's going to be competing and for a possible feud. So I'm going to have to go ahead with my pick because, number one, I'm not a fan of the whole hot potatoing of the title. And number two, I have a feeling this feud may be continuing on, maybe to Backlash. So my pick is going to be the Bludgeon Brothers to retain the title and then having a continuing feud with the Usos. So I'm just going to stick by it. And yeah, so hopefully we'll see what's going to happen. But anywho... And let's move on to the next match, which is going to be the casket match between The Undertaker versus Rusev. Well, it's been nice knowing Rusev, especially everybody's favorite day, Rusev Day. I know there has been a lot of changes going on with the matches. It was supposed to be Taker versus Rusev, but of course backstage heat going on, and they changed it to Taker versus Chris Jericho, which is like I was like super looking forward to in the first place, like Legend versus Legends match.
I know.
Yeah.
Like that match was like intriguing me. Like I was almost gonna like wake up early just to watch that match. I'm like, wow.
I know. Like I was so hyped up for the match. Like I know like I was gonna pick like who's gonna win and all that up until, of course, Vince McMahon changes his mind and put Rusev back to competing against The Undertaker, and Jericho's going to be competing at the 50-man Royal Rumble, which we'll be getting to that in just a moment. So I'm going to have to go ahead with my pick. It was been honored to celebrate everybody's favorite day, and it's a shame that because of WWE logic and the whole booking situation, I'm going to have to pick The Undertaker to beat Rusev, and I have a feeling this is going to be another short match, guys. So, what do you think, Big Geoff?
Well, like I said yesterday, if you guys watched it, I'm pulling the swerve here.
Ooh.
Under the rug. I'm going with Rusev to win this match. It'll be a short match. Undertaker will probably get some moves in, but if they really want to truly put Rusev over, probably make him like a heel again, or the most dominant heel. They're going to have him beat Undertaker in his match, the casket match. Kyle, what are your thoughts?
Yes. Yeah.
I feel like nobody wins in this match in the long-term booking situations. I mean, what does Undertaker what does he get from this win? I mean, then what does Rusev get from this loss anyways? Like, it just seems so obvious to me that the Undertaker's gonna win, but sometimes when the things are most obvious, like Big G says here, like sometimes they like to pull a swerve on you. Like, I mean, I'm an Undertaker guy. Literally, the Undertaker's the first guy I remember watching on television when I first that's what got me into wrestling. I was so drawn to the character as the Undertaker character as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
That will stick with me forever, and I'm never going to go against The Undertaker, so I got to pick The Undertaker just based off of that. I mean, and plus, I just don't see Rusev really recovering from this. I mean, this is the literal burial of Rusev in the desert.
So my question is for both of you guys, do you feel like WWE is booking that match on purpose just to have Rusev having one of his buried moment?
I don't know if that's the thing, because think about it. You know, like, working with The Undertaker is like, he's a legend. Like, like he's on the level of Stone Cold and The Rock and Hulk Hogan, in my opinion. I mean, he may not have like the mainstream appeal, but he's been with the company for the better part of 30 years.
Yeah.
And like when you think of WWE or F or whatever, like you think of The Undertaker. Like, you got to think it's almost an honor working with him, you know?
Absolutely.
So I think maybe, I don't really see it as, if I was Rusev, I certainly wouldn't see it as a punishment, because I'm freaking working with The Undertaker, but.
Yeah, I agree. Let me take you guys back to 2004 Backlash. You had Randy Orton and Mick Foley in a hardcore match.
Oh, yeah.
And look, everybody thought that Mickles was going to win that match, and Orton won that match. You had a hardcore match at WrestleMania 22 with him and Edge. Who won that Edge, you know? So it may be their match, but like I said, they can pull a fast one out from us and have Rusev win and put him over, just like they did with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns.
Exactly, and especially the fact that it would be like, think of it as a honor that, Rusev was working with Taker, whether it's a win or a loss. That sets it all. And it should be like kind of like a privilege to work with like the top legends of WWE. But anywho, let's move on here. So next up you have is the ladder match for the Intercontinental title, which you have is the champ Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor versus The Miz versus Samoa Joe, who is happened to be now on SmackDown Live. So
The Miz.
And The Miz also. So let's start off with you, Kyle.
So, I mean, they've really been teasing us with the Intercontinental title and U.S. title lately, haven't they? I mean, they literally just had Joe cut a promo on SmackDown saying that if he wins the Intercontinental title, that will go to SmackDown. And maybe if Jinder Mahal, please God,
no,
party and the U.S. title goes back to Raw. But I'm just going to say Seth Rollins retains just because he just won the belt, and let's not have the titles keep flip-flopping back and forth. The U.S. title has changed 12 times in 12 months, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember that.
Just to think about the John Cena Open Challenge like 3 years ago, until look at where the U.S. title is now. It's like I think that there needs to be... I mean, Seth Rollins, I think, will hold the title maybe until SummerSlam. I could see that. Like him feuding with some of the new guys that come over from Raw, like Bobby Roode or something like that. So, and Seth Rollins is great. I mean, he needs he deserves to have something for all the hard work he's been putting in. I mean, look at the freaking gauntlet match from 2 months ago.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus. I really think Seth Rollins is going to go far with this title and maybe elevate. Well, I think the Intercontinental title is probably in the best shape it's been in probably this entire decade, to be perfectly honest, with The Miz being a great heel champion, and then Roman Reigns was just whatever. But I think the Intercontinental title has some good things looking forward to it, especially with a guy like Seth Rollins holding it, and I really hope he retains. What do you think, Cindy?
Well, I mean, this is like a pretty interesting, concept for the match. However, I do feel like that the IC title will be remaining on Raw, and I'm going to go ahead with my pick right away is Seth Rollins is going to retain the title. And then I would like to see Seth Rollins versus Bobby Lashley for the Intercontinental title. That would be like a good match, come to think of it. And, regarding with Finn Balor, I have a feeling he's probably going to be feuding with someone that is coming from NXT or coming from SmackDown Live, give or take. But it looks like Finn is probably going to be lost in the shuffle after all, since now Carl and Luca is now on SmackDown Live, possibly reuniting with AJ Styles. So he's now on his own so far. And then regarding Miz and Samoa Joe, I mean, they're on SmackDown. Samoa Joe is probably going to do bigger and better things, probably a next feud with AJ Styles for the WWE Champion. And as far as for The Miz, it looks like he's going to be starting a feud with Daniel Bryan, because I know Daniel Bryan is going to be having a feud with Big Cass, if you guys saw on SmackDown Live last week. But everything is like an endless possibility. So again, my pick is going to be Seth Rollins to retain the title. So what about you, Big Geoff?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you guys. Seth's going to retain. Like we all said, he just recently won at WrestleMania. I can see him probably continuing his feud with Finn Balor. They've been having some pretty good matches lately. He could even have matches, like you said, well, I don't know about Bobby Lashley, but Bobby Roode or other people who've come from SmackDown to Raw now. He could have, for all we know, he could have a match with Jinder Mahal.
Oh, Who God, no.
Who knows? They've done weirder things in WWE. All right, so what's the next match, Cindy?
Alrighty. Next match is the WWE title match between the champ AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura, or as what Kyle like to call him,
Knockaballs.
Alright.
Or knock your nuts, whatever you guys like better.
Yeah, due to like Shinsuke giving constant low blows to AJ ever since WrestleMania, like I don't know what is he thinking. But him as a heel, like having this cocky attitude, pretend that he doesn't understand English. And if you saw on Twitter, he said like he doesn't speak Spanish, and then went back to English. It was a tweet between him and Corey Graves. It's pretty hilarious. But anywho, I have a feeling that this feud maybe continue because since this is just another glorified house show. So I'm going to go ahead with my pick. My pick is going to be AJ Styles to retain the title. And I may going to have to throw a little swerve that I have a feeling that Carl and Luke might get involved in that match just to help AJ, reuniting the club before the whole draft began 2 years ago. So what about you, Big Geoff? Let's start with you.
I'm going to stick with my pick. AJ Styles is going to retain. Though I've liked Shinsuke Nakamura as a heel. He's done pretty good so far. I can see AJ versus Daniel Bryan down the road at SummerSlam, or even a triple threat with all three of them. Mm-hmm. Heck, even a Fatal 4 with him, Joe, Bryan, and Nakamura down the road. So yeah, that's what I think. Interstate Cal, what are your thoughts on this championship?
Oh man, I think that they're going to drag this feud out a little bit more. I could see this going to Backlash and maybe even Money in the Bank. But I love Shinsuke Nakamura as a heel. I can honestly say, like, that promo he cut, I was laughing so hard when he cut that promo. I don't speak English, I think is the word he used.
Yeah.
But
yes.
but I don't, let's see. I really, for some reason, I don't see this match having a decisive finish because of a disqualification or something. Like, I think AJ Styles is going to retain the title based off of disqualification. Like, because since we're either, like, AJ Styles is going to get Nakamura back by hitting him in the nuts or something, like, to retain his title. I mean, I don't think it'd be a heel move at all because he's been doing it to him for the better part of a month now.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that, like, this match isn't going to have a finish because I'm sorry, my phone is acting up. Holy crap. Anyways, I think that this match won't have a decisive finish because you don't want to have a decisive finish because you want to drag the feud out to Backlash and lost the bank. So, and I think it's okay to not have a decisive finish here because, like I said, I don't think this pay-per-view is going to mean too much in the grand scheme of things. So that's my opinion. I think AJ Styles is going to retain based off of disqualification.
All right.
All right. Good idea. So we all agree, like, AJ's going to retain the title, but then a possible, like, no disqualification, or possibly some little assistance from Luke and Carl as well. So anywho, let's move on to the next match, which is the steel cage match for the WWE Universal title between the champ Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. So let's start.
Hey, Virtue likes him, man.
I know, but I just
shout out to Virtue's Rage.
Yeah.
Jeff's wearing his shirt.
Oh yeah, let's start off with you, Big Geoff.
All right. Well, I'm gonna stick on my pick. I think I predicted Lesnar is gonna retain, and
what?
Yeah, listen, and then eventually he'll lose the title to Reigns, maybe at SummerSlam, and then Reigns will have a feud with whoever down the road, and go from there. Cindy, what are your thoughts?
Well, I'm gonna have to agree with you, Big Geoff, because, like, come to think of it, the Greatest Royal Rumble is just another glorified house show, but in a different country with super stricter laws. Like, I know the steel cage match is going to be pretty interesting, especially how it's just a whole demographic, which pretty much basically family that's going to be attending, and I know like they're probably going to be cheering Roman Reigns so loud, so hard, but for my pick, it's going to be Brock Lesnar, and I can see this feud is going to continue on up until possibly SummerSlam, because Brock Lesnar is still with WWE. He just signed a contract, but it may be all an endless possibility. And what are your thoughts, Kyle?
I just want this Brock Lesnar-Roman Reigns thing to end. I mean, I just want Roman to win the title and just get it over with already. We've been doing this story for 3 years now. It's like, how much more is Roman Reigns going to fail and fail and fail and fail before he finally wins the title? I mean, if they want to get him cheered, then this is the perfect freaking place to do it, because he'll get booed out of SummerSlam. I guarantee it. If they want to wait until SummerSlam for him to win the title.
Yeah.
I just think that they're setting they're literally setting up a title change with all the freaking shortcomings that they've been doing with Roman Reigns against Brock Lesnar. I mean, he was pinned last year at SummerSlam in the Fatal 4-Way, and then he got beat at WrestleMania, and it's just like, at least with the cage, I feel like he can escape the cage if they don't want to make him pin Brock Lesnar or something, or like escape through the door. But I just want it over with. I'm tired of this feud. I literally saw the beginning of it at my WrestleMania 31. Like, I'm just sick of this. I'm just sick of this feud. I really am. I just want Roman to win, and that's my official prediction: is Roman's gonna win.
Yeah. Come to think of it, because like we all saw what happened at WrestleMania 34. Like everybody's not into that match between Brock and Roman. Like hell, you got a lot of people like booing and chanting like so many things. Is that like? I feel like people are going to be turned off to that steel cage match. You know, it's just going to be another standard match, like with different rules going on. But we'll see what's going to happen. But again, Kyle, your pick is going to be Roman, and Geoff and my pick would be, of course, Brock Lesnar to retain that title. I just, honestly, I just don't care much about the Universal title, because now it's like very irrelevant, especially the fact that it already lost credibility since the whole Goldberg versus Lesnar last year's WrestleMania match. It's like it's already lost its credibility already, like that, and plus the US title when it was like going back and forth. But we'll see what's going to happen, guys. Anyway, so next up we have is the main event match, which is the 50-man Royal Rumble. Holy crap. 50 competitors. And the winner is just going to get a trophy, and that's it, because, again, glorifying house shows. There's no, number one contendership for any of the titles they're choosing. Oh, well, but anyway, so we're going to be going ahead with, our 3 picks. So I guess I'll start off with my 3 picks. So my first pick, I feel like this person definitely deserves to win the Royal Rumble, especially making his in-ring comeback and just having like a very feel-good moment. So my number 1 pick is going to be Daniel Bryan. My second pick is this wrestler who have been in the company for so many years. He's a Grand Slam champion, but he never won the Royal Rumble since his debut in WWE. So my second pick is going to be Chris Jericho. And my third pick, and it's going to be the obvious answer that everybody's picking as their first or second pick winner. My third pick is going to be Braun Strowman to win the Rumble. So let's start off with you, Kyle. Who are your 3 picks?
So I'm going to go a little bit against the machine here, and except for my first pick. My first pick is going to be Braun Strowman, because I just feel like he needs it, especially winning a tag title with Nicholas.
Oh
man. I still have mixed feelings about that. I mean, that's a different topic for a different day. But my second pick is actually going to be Bobby Lashley, because he kind of just came back to WWE, and I feel like he needs something to he has a lot of credibility. I mean, his MMA record as of right now is 15-2, which is actually better than Brock Lesnar, believe it or not. So he has credibility as a legitimate athlete, but I feel like they need to give him something to really get the strap going with him, like his return, to keep his momentum going. So I can see them giving this victory to the Royal Rumble for some reason. And my third pick is going to be also somebody who just returned, Big Cass. So my 3 picks are all going to be big, sweaty men, because that's what Vince McMahon likes. So what do you think, Big G?
I'm going to stick with my picks. My first pick is going to be Daniel Bryan. He just came back, so he needs, like Wallace said, that feel-good moment. My second pick is going to be Braun Strowman. And then my third pick will be Chris Jericho.
Wow. So pretty much Geoff and I has a similar pick. Kyle has a very interesting pick that is out out of a box as well. I mean, I know everybody is choosing, like, you know, their top 3 picks between Braun Strowman, Daniel Bryan, and Chris Jericho. So these are like possibilities. But Kyle, your point about, like, you know, Bobby Lashley possibly winning the Rumble may be a chance, but I have a feeling that he may be going to be having a feud going on with someone that is like having a title. And then Big Cass, that's kind of like a complete surprise as well. So hopefully we'll see what's going to happen this Friday for the Greatest Royal Rumble. I just hope it better not be super long or even longer than WrestleMania. So we're going to have to find out, you guys. So anyway, guys, that is it for our video. Thank you so much for watching. So before we all go, we're going to be giving our social media plugs as well. So let's start off with you, Kyle.
You guys can subscribe to me on YouTube at Interstate Kyle. You guys can follow me on Twitter at Interstate Kyle. I post time-lapse videos all over this amazing country. And that's pretty much it. Big G?
Alright, well, you guys can follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, at NoDQ_Big Geoff. I'm on Facebook as well. Aaron has his beanies back in. Go get your beach balls. Go to Pro Wrestling Tees, search NoDQ, get everybody's shirt, Virtue shirt, Kyle's shirt, Jeff's shirt, Aaron's shirt. And follow everybody on NoDQ. Cindy, your plugs.
All right, and you guys know, make sure to follow me on Twitter and my YouTube channel and Instagram at simply_C_OK for our YouTube channel. Posted video regarding independent wrestling. Instagram, if you're a photo art fan, that's where I mostly post it here. And Twitter is like, etc., etc. And also, you guys, make sure to follow NoDQ.com on their social media page and the website as well. And subscribe to this channel right here for all the latest news regarding WWE and other wrestling-related news. So, till next time, this is Cindy G, along with Interstate Kyle and Big Geoff. And hope you guys have a great day. Cheers.